I mean, 3 years ago, there was no planes in the sky. There was nobody here on this street. The shops were closed. You know, this was trauma. And the way we've been dealing with it is we've lifted the national carpet, those that don't want to discuss this, and thrown it under and saying, well, that's the trauma, there's no trauma here. There is trauma. There's a very significant level of trauma. And this time, we're going to talk about it because throughout the world, it's quite clear from the data coming through, excess deaths are very, very significant and growing. Disabilities from the so-called vaccines are growing. The major one was taken off, as we know, 2 weeks ago, which was AstraZeneca, because of clotting. And clotting was a conspiracy theory until a couple of weeks ago. It's true. And all the data's come through. The Japanese are very strong on this. The leading oncologist in Japan, Dr. Fukushima, has already said they've got a significant turbo cancer problem in the Japanese population. They're beginning to talk about it everywhere where these so-called vaccines existed. You know, we're pushing through in large numbers. And it's not happening anywhere else. So excess deaths, disability and harm. And in Ireland, it's omerta. You're not allowed to talk about it. I know this because I deal with the media. They will not take anything about the World Health Organization, even though it was meeting in Geneva, even though it was going to have a potential dramatic impact on our freedom and sovereignty. It wasn't going to be written about or discussed in the Irish media. The Irish media are a disgrace to the Irish nation. That's the truth of it. And so we've reached the pivot point globally, which is why I'm using the tagline, we see you. Consistently I'm saying, we see you. We're letting them know we, wherever we are, the people, we know see you. We see you as a globalist. Stephen Donnelly is a globalist. Leo Varadkar was a globalist. World Economic Forum trained globalist. And so it goes on. Ardern in New Zealand, Trudeau in Canada, you know, who went in and took money from truckers' bank accounts, right, and left them out in the cold in Ottawa. You know, so it's all there in open sight. What's not amongst us in enough numbers yet is the capacity to open our eyes and deal with what Hitler wrote about in Mein Kampf. He talked about the big lie, that the human being can understand the small lie because we see it every day, but the bigger the lie, the easier it is to actually enact. And he went on and he proved that subsequently. You know, from 1933 forward in Germany. And we always thought, oh, that's the Germans, they have a particular cultural thing where they'll go along with these things. Well, actually, it's global, isn't it? Because we all went along with it, certainly in the Western countries.